Shalom, shalom. What's the word, y'all? Yes, sir. Back in the building for another one. Yeah, man. Been a while, man, since I came on here, and spoke that word to y'all, man. And man, life has been crazy, man. I've been extremely busy. My son just graduated fifth grade and everything too. Like I said, we got that little boy, something else, man. He did a backflip at his graduation when he got his certificate and all types of stuff. He a show out boy, just like his dad and everything too. So he got a testing coming up and everything too. So next month, I'm still getting prepared for that. I've been working like crazy and everything too, man. And yeah, it's a lot more stuff going on, man. So, but yeah, man, we here. You know what I'm saying? I praise the Lord, that I can still continue to do this, still make everything happen like the way it's supposed to, man. Yeah, it's definitely been challenging, for me because I know I spoke about it in my last short or something like that in my last video or something like that. I was talking about like how I've been praying to get this adjusted, how I've been praying to the Lord and everything, to tell Him to basically to continue to give me the strength to keep on doing this because man, I've been them times where you feel like giving up, those times you feel like where if it's worth it or not, or if I'm really supposed to continue to keep doing this or not, but right, the Lord being confirming that I'm supposed to continue to keep doing this, continue to keep on speaking that word and edifying the people and let them know what's really going on, man. So I praise the Lord for continuing to put it on my heart to do this because a lot of lately after I've been praying about that and asking the Lord if I'm really supposed to be doing it, He been putting messages out of nowhere, giving me these messages, these things to talk about, these things I'm supposed to, be edifying the people about. So I thank the Lord that He put it on my heart for me to continue to do this and continue, letting the people know what's going on. So, and I thank the Lord He gave me my fire back because, I felt at some point where it's like, I was getting tired. I kept getting to the point where I kept getting tired where I would feel like I had strength. I wanted to do the videos, like I wanted to do these videos, but I had no strength. I had no energy to do them. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have the time to do them, but I just had no energy like to do it. But that was a spiritual attack I was dealing with, and I come to find out that's what that was. That was the devil just trying to keep me away from doing something, that the Lord keep calling me to do, and I'm continuing to keep on doing. So yes, sir. I'm back here for another one. You know what I'm saying? Well, we must profess this is one God. Yes, sir. No one before Him, no one after Him, no one besides Him. And no one with Him at all. I had to take that pause so y'all can get that little real quick. But yeah, man, I got a lot of videos coming up real soon. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank God for the new subscribers that I got into my life and everything that really just started to just subscribe to my page and everything. I hope what y'all seeing and everything y'all listening to is what you need to hear is helping y'all along y'all way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's helped me. But today my video is gonna be about basically about my experiences with witchcraft. I was watching a video today, what really brought it to my mind and to my attention, like, man, I talked about a lot of stuff, I touched base on a lot of stuff and I got a lot of more stuff to touch bases on, but I never really told my experience about what I went through, how I went through it, and how I had my experience with me dabbling in witchcraft and not knowing, unknowingly, basically. So, yes, this is my, message to y'all to let y'all know what I'm saying, like, okay, how I dealt with it, how I did my little situations or whatever, how I got into it, and how the Lord brought people my way and let me know what I was doing wasn't of Christ. Because the Bible speaks about that. I think it's in Deuteronomy. It says, whether it be with the tarot cards, the astrology, the chakras, the psychic readings, the what else is new stuff called? These dream catchers, all this symbolism and all this type of stuff. It's all part of it, all linked to witchcraft, and it's all divination. Witches, warlocks, sorcerers, soothsayers, all that type of stuff. It's all linked to witchcraft. So, yes, I'm gonna be here telling y'all my testimony and what I went through, how I overcame it, and how I dealt with it, and how it still kind of lingers in my life a little bit, but it doesn't really linger because the Lord brought me out of it. But I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of insight and everything. So make sure y'all like the video, share, subscribe, basically. But yeah, man, my when it come down to like actually like when it come down to the so much of the spirit world, when it come down to knowing and certain things, I always known this when I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like I always could see certain things as a kid. I always noticed certain things when I was a child. Like coming up, I remember this one thing when I was a kid. Like I remember seeing we was in Chicago. I think we was moved. This when I was still in Chicago. We was moving out this crib or whatever, and I don't know why I seen this or what brought it to me, just my attention, but I seen a white man like just standing right there in the hallway. As I'm walking out the house or whatever, nobody like nobody else seen this, but I saw like a white dude just standing right there with all black on, gray hair, and just standing right there, just staring. It's like I saw it, but then I looked again like. But when I went outside to tell my grandma and my auntie them about that, like they was like, "What you talking about?" And they went back in and tried to see it, and like, nah. But I remember one thing I said. I remember this one thing. My sister told me she seen it too. So I'm like, man. So I used to act like, man, did somebody die in that house? You know, did something go on in that house or whatever? So when it come down to certain type of spirits, I was always able to see certain things. Like I think I seen my first UFO when I was a kid and all type of stuff. You know, I used to get like real demonic dreams when I was a kid too. You know, so because I recently found out as I got in my well deeper that my family dealt with a lot of witchcraft too, was trans back to their bloodline also. So, but we're gonna get a little bit more deeper than that. So, yeah, I used to have demonic, crazy dreams. I had a dream about there was a lady when I think I was like around 7, 8, or 9, something like that. I don't know, I remember how old I was. I know I was a shorty though. I had a dream, and I still remember this to this day. I had a dream about it was a lady. It was like me and my brother and my sister. We used to all like sleep in the same bed. You know, it was back around the time. You know, we was doing bad. You know what I'm saying? We had too much, so we was just like sleeping on like a let out couch or whatever. And I was at the foot of the bed, and I woke up. I see my auntie over there cleaning or something, but I woke up and I seen a lady standing right there in all black, just like staring at me. And she had like a black shawl over her face or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But she was just standing. He said I couldn't talk. It was like real bad sleep paralysis. And I had this when I was a kid. Mind you, now I'm still a short. That's the last lesson. I couldn't talk. I couldn't scream. I was trying to scream out for my auntie, like to call her name to get her attention, but she couldn't hear me. I couldn't talk. Like I couldn't say nothing. And then I woke up and I had told her, I kept telling my auntie, like, yeah, I was trying to call you. I was trying to call you. And I seen this lady in all black. It's like, oh, no, Brandon, you just playing. You just had a nightmare. You just had a nightmare. But no, this was real. I know I seen it. That was crazy. So that's just to name a couple things, you know what I'm saying? Also, but now to go a little bit more deeper into it. Now, when it came down to the type of witchcraft that like I used to like got a part of, it wasn't really like I never played with no tarot cards. I always knew that was bad. I never because I was always told to stay away from that stuff. I never dealt with what's other stuff called? I never dealt with the Ouija board. My grandmother always told me about that because my grandmother, they was raised Baptist or whatever. So, you know, they had their little beliefs or whatever too. And they was, you know, majority of the stuff we was taught was like right, but it wasn't the righteous way, you know what I mean? Because they still dabbling a little bit of witchcraft also along with that. So, but yeah, so I never dealt with that type of stuff. I never dealt with the, you know, type of psychic reads and no stuff like that because I already knew that people was evil or whatever. But the type of stuff that I got into when I was back dealing with my back in the days when I was dealing with my witchcraft and all that type of stuff, I got into the chakras. That was like really, and I kind of came upon it like kind of randomly. It wasn't nothing. I was just like really well. It was the chakras and the twitching, like the twitching of your muscles, the twitching of your eyes, the twitching of your face, your cheek, your hands, your fingers, the body part twitches. I got into that type of stuff because that was what my parent, my grandma and them, my auntie and them, they taught us that type of stuff, you know, about the twitches and everything and what they mean, but it's superstitious. I didn't know that that stuff was witchcraft either. I didn't know that that stuff was dabbling in witchcraft either because that's linked to Hinduism also, and I didn't know that either. So I had to learn that all, but it didn't really start getting crazy like that until I started dabbling with drugs or whatever. Until I started smoking weed and popping pills more and more and more. Cause DMT, the drug, is how you open up, quote unquote, your third eye and everything too. Besides, and smoking weed also. You know what I'm saying? See, I was popping pills and smoking weed, so I was doing them both, but I was doing it constantly. I was hitting it hard. You know what I'm saying? This was back then before I even started like the twitches, and I even got too deep into the chakras and stuff like that. And I remember I had a situation where I almost overdosed or something like that. And it got to the point where I felt it like in the back of my brain and all that type of stuff. So, but that was just one situation. After that, I didn't do nothing for a while. I wasn't smoking no more weed or nothing like that for a while. I was still smoking weed, but I wasn't popping pills or nothing like that for a while. But then it didn't stop like that. So God brought me back from that time when I was smoking, when I was popping the pills or whatever. I was just going through a rough time around that time. When I was popping pills heavy like that and smoking weed like that, I was going through a real rough time like that. So I did that, you know what I'm saying, and the Lord brought me through that because I felt like, man, I felt like my whole brain was like cold. It's like it was frozen, like something had a hold of my brain or whatever and just squeezing it. But I thank God He brought me out of that, you know what I'm saying, brought me back to life because I know I felt it was over, you know what I'm saying. I felt like it was over, my life was over around that time because I know I had did something, but it's like, I was going through a rough time and the most thing I kept saying was like, God help me, you know what I'm saying, I need some help, I need somebody, I need some help, I need some help, I need some help. And then I smoked that weed, it was like, man, because what people don't realize though, like, is that another reason why you're not supposed to smoke weed or whatever, because illegally it helps you enter the spirit realm. You're not supposed to enter the spirit realm until you get the Holy Spirit, and God allows you to see the spirit realm. Smoking weed only helps you enter it illegally. That's why you start seeing demons and start seeing all this other stuff, and all this stuff enters your body. So that's why it's like, it's not good for people to smoke weed, but hey, people don't really do what they want to do. But if they know that they enter in the spirit realm illegally by smoking weed, that's why the sayings always say you want to see the devil smokes weed. But yeah, somebody told me that one time too also. But yeah, that's neither here or there. But yeah, man, smoking weed it illegally helps you enter the spirit realm. So, and when I was seeing these certain type of things, it's like, okay, when I did that, like after I came back from the overdose and everything, I tried to popping pills again one more time and smoking weed again, but I felt the same thing again, like the thing in my brain back there, whatever. I felt it again. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? So that was my last time doing with that type of stuff. But I continued to smoke weed. I didn't stop that. You know what I'm saying? But I would say after the second time, I started feeling different. I started like things wasn't the same after that. After I had that overdose, those 2 times, I wasn't feeling different. It wasn't the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? It was extremely different. I started um, I started seeing my eyes. The light. I was way more sensitive to light. I was a lot more cautious of a lot. I guess you could say like my whole understanding of everything has got a little bit more enlightened. See, but I didn't know. But I looked this stuff up. I started seeing numbers after that, like the the angel numbers, quote unquote, that they be saying, which are demonic numbers. And which because every time you see these numbers like 333, 4440, every time you see those numbers, it's and you look it up, as you come into agreement of the darkness with Satan. So turn away from angel number. They're not of God. None of the stuff is of God. Everything I'm telling you about right now is not of God. So, but back on what I was saying about me having a license or whatever, having the eyes, me like having like a real broad and sense now of everything. Like I could sense a lot. I started to hear things more clearer. I could smell more better. It's like every sense that I had was more enlightened after that. But then over time, like I still smoke weed. Like I said, some things happened where I had fell off and all that type of stuff. But these twitches I used to get, like they got more and more and more and more and more like heightened. You know what I'm saying? So I started feeling more of my body than just in my eyes and everything too. So over time, I started to get more and more deep into the horoscopes and everything. I was dealing with that too, the astrology stuff. Like I started to manifest certain things. I started to manifest these certain type of women into my life and all that type of stuff, which drew me down a whole different type of path. I attracted witches. Someone wound up putting a spell on me and all that type of stuff. So it's like, man, it was a whole big crazy thing I went through. But yeah, man. So over time, as I was doing these things, and it got to the point where it's like, okay, well, when it come down to the chakras and everything, it's like it's different levels. You got the sacrum, the all these. You got the crown chakra, the third eye. All this stuff is basically evil. But I didn't know that around that time, because I wasn't reading the Bible a lot back then. You know what I'm saying? Back in from I was I used to read scriptures and everything now and then, but I wasn't really like deep in the word like I am right now. And I wasn't my relationship with God wasn't as good as it was now, but it was there. You know what I'm saying? So even though I was doing all this stuff, I was still praying to God. Even though I was dabbling with the chakras and I was going out and like buying like I remember one time I went to a store. This was way back before I even got into the whole chakras and everything. I bought this bracelet. It was supposed to be like for protection or something like that. So, but when I had it and I would wear it, it's like I would always feel something wasn't right. It was like a presence or something around me, like something wasn't right. So over time, I wore it for a little bit, but after a while, I kind of just threw it away because I'm like, okay, well, something don't feel right. I don't even wear this type of stuff anyway. I just only got it because somebody told me, you know what I'm saying? But I threw it away. So, but over time, when I stopped everything, like I said, I used to have these demonic dreams. I started having demonic dreams. I started getting attacked in my dream. I like the sleep paralysis I was having, bro, was like extremely crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I got into like the more into the horoscope type of stuff. Like, I was manifesting a lot of stuff around that time. So, but I think I think the year 2020 or 2021 is when I really took off with this type of stuff. Especially when it come down to the chakras and everything, I really took off because I started depending on that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I started depending on it because it was giving it was coming true. Like everything, and when it come down to the twitches and everything, like the right eye is supposed to be for good luck, left eye is supposed to be for bad luck. You get these shoulder twitches and everything, your hand twitches. I knew what all it meant, but what I didn't know that it was linked to witchcraft and divination, and that I was still opening doors into my life by doing this type of stuff. See, I didn't know that because I was still, like I said, and I'm thinking, because when it come down to the chakras and all this type of stuff, like, and when it come down to these twitches and everything, nothing that I was doing or none of this stuff that like the twitches and all that type of stuff, it only like, because I'm thinking it's my intuition, but I didn't know it was called superstition. I didn't know that type of stuff. And superstition is linked to, witchcraft or, fables, basically some stuff that somebody made up. But because there was some truth to it, but it was leading me to it was leading me to do good things. It wasn't leading me to do nothing bad. It wasn't leading me to nothing crazy. But I can say I was only getting blessed more when I was sinning. I was sleeping with different type of women. I was still, I wasn't smoking weed like that anymore. I left that alone. I was still smoking cigarettes. I was still drinking heavy. I was still partying with different women and all type of stuff. I was still living a fleshly life, but I was still getting blessed for that. See, I didn't know back then. I did not know that the devil can bless you also. So everything I was doing was for Satan's kingdom, and I know this. But there's one thing I can say. God sent someone to warn me. I don't know this girl. I forgot this girl's name, but I was at a car shop. I just had bought my Mercedes and everything too. I was there getting something fixed, but I was stressing about something. I was stressing about, like, I forgot what it was. I think I was stressing about the car or something, or what was wrong with it. So I would take some breaks or something. And I meet this chick, you know what I'm saying? She came in as the regular, regular person walk in, and sat down right next to me. She didn't sit the next seat over. She sat down right next to me, I just spoke, hi and all that type of stuff. I didn't say nothing to her, but she said something to me. We just started a conversation, like, what kind of car you got and all that type of stuff. Just regular conversation. So, we get to talking a little bit about the Bible and all that type of stuff. Because, like I said, I was still getting my understanding of the word, but I was still going off of, off of a lot of false teachings. I was watching Bishop T.D. Jakes. I was watching, Joel Osteen. I was watching a lot of false prophets around that time. So it's like, I was in a whole different world. I wasn't really doing my studying myself to be approved, reading the Bible for myself, and I was still following false holidays. I was still doing a lot of this type of stuff, so I was still living in wickedness, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really fully committed to God like I am right now. So, but this person came to me and she talked to me. She was like, we had a conversation, you know what I'm saying? So, and we did a little bit of talking, but she telling me, we was talking a little about the Bible and all that type of stuff and how about the Israelites, the Hebrews and everything. So we had a good conversation. I'm like, man, we need to continue the conversation. I like how you talk, because I ain't met nobody like her in a while, especially like young girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I ain't met no one like that. So we had a little conversation or whatever. So she gave me a number and I'm in a hot tub that night. I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? Just having me a drink or whatever. And so I text her. We talking for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So we conversating. She told me like, okay, how do you do your situation when it come down to you going like dealing with like with God or whatever? How do you do it or whatever? Like I told her, like I basically read my word, I say my prayers over everything, I watch my sermons, and I just basically do that, And she said she basically do the same thing. But the one thing I noticed is that she told me when I spoke with her, she was dabbling in witchcraft at first. And she found out what she was doing was witchcraft, and she had to turn around and go back another way and go back the right way, because what she was doing, she didn't know she was doing witchcraft, and she was with some guy, whatever, that like, that had her and all this other little type of stuff also. So she let that person go and got her life back right. So I don't even know why I said this. I don't even know what made me brought up, because I was proud of this at that time, Because I think when it came down to the chakras, like I got so far into it where I was on this level where it's called the crown chakra. Basically where like you at a certain, I didn't know too much about it. I just know you was at a certain position where it feel like, it was a time where I feel like I was levitating. I was so up there with this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I was dabbling in it for so long, and like I've been manifesting certain things, you know what I'm saying? I'm still smoking, drinking, so I'm still in the spirit. I'm still in the spiritual realm where I'm thinking like this is godly stuff, this is holy stuff, and not this is more spiritual, but not holy spiritual stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, she told me like, and I told her something. I said, I'm going into I think my 7th level. I think I said it was the 7th level, because the 6th level was the third eye and the 7th one. Yeah, I forgot what the other. Crown chakra was the 7th one. And then she like, that's witchcraft. Well, what are you doing? The crown chakra, those stuff is witchcraft and all that type of stuff. I'm like, what? She said, yeah, that's witchcraft. You're not supposed to be doing stuff like that. And then we got to talking a little bit more, and I felt offended by that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, what's she talking about? This stuff ain't no witchcraft and nothing like that. Because I'm thinking, this is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like, I'm doing good stuff. I'm out here making a way for myself. I'm out here manifesting good things and everything. But I didn't know that was still Satan's, I'm still a part of Satan's kingdom, because I didn't know that, I didn't know this stuff was linked to Hinduism. I didn't know this stuff was like, the divination, the horoscopes and everything, because she was like, I knew it was something when she would never tell me what her sign was, She's like, oh, I don't believe in that type of stuff. And I'm like, not for real. That's real, shorty. That's like real stuff. See, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know none of this. But shorty came to me and told me that, And this was like, and this is the main thing. This is another reason why, to this day, I read from the Ethiopic Bible, because it has a lot more in it. It gives you a lot more detail. Other than King James, don't get me wrong, the King James version is amazing. The original King James version, not the new King James, but the original one is amazing also. But I read from the Ethiopic Bible because, it has the book of Joshua, the book of Enoch, and all the rest of them in there. But she was the only person I ever met that came to me, besides Pastor Gino Jennings, who I'm speaking about soon, that brought me into the truth. She was the only person that I ever known in my whole life of talking to that read the Ethiopian Bible. And she told me she read from that, And she told me, like, the moment we had a more deep into conversation, I told her about, I was talking to her about Lucifer and Satan and all that type of stuff. But I was still a baby when my faith, and I was still a baby with the Bible, so I knew a little bit. And she kept asking me, like, where do you know your knowledge from? Where are you getting your knowledge from? Because I never heard the things you're talking to me about or whatever. And I just told her life, Some of it came from the Bible, but most of it I'll tell them about, about a lot of stuff that really wasn't really Bible based, So I never heard from her again, though. We had a conversation that one night. She told me about the witchcraft stuff. I never heard from her again, So, but I thank God for her. I thank God for her. If I ever see her again, I would let her know, like, man, I thank you, man, because you woke me up, She didn't wake me up at that moment, because, I was still like, okay, well, she don't know what she talking about, you know what I'm saying? This stuff real, man. This stuff is of God, you know what I'm saying? Like, why, if it ain't of God, why, you know what I'm saying? Why I'm getting all this good stuff in my life? Why I'm getting all these blessings in my life? Now I know why, but yeah, man, I thank God for her, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, praise, Lord, the real God sent her into my life. I know he did, for real, for real. Knowing what I know now, come on now, went nowhere around it. The Lord sent her into my life, but I didn't stop it for a while, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole crown, all the chakras and all that type of stuff, like, it took me a while. It took me a little bit, you know what I'm saying, until I started watching other God sent another content creator my way, you know, by the name of Mark the Messenger. I heard a dude. I started watching Buddy because I TD Jakes and all them, man. Like, I started hearing stuff about them, how they was phony and all that type of stuff too. So I'm like, man, what's going on now, man? So Mark the Messenger came around, I started watching Buddy, man. His life is like what Buddy went through is like the same life I had went through, you know what I'm saying? Other than he wasn't no gang banger, he wasn't in the streets or nothing like that, and nothing like that, you know, like, but yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? His life was a little bit similar to mine. So it's like, man, I can relate to dude, you know what I'm saying? And he was one of the ones besides Pastor Geno Jennings that was revealing to me about the holidays, about the fake pagan holidays. You know, Geno Jennings, like, he helped me about a whole lot, you know. But Mark the Messenger was one of the ones that, like, actually came and pointed out everything that I was dabbling in. The angel numbers, the crown chakras, what's the other one? The astrology, and then the twitches, the superstition stuff, all this stuff. Buddy came and said that. Threw me off. Because the moment I heard all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. And then I read Deuteronomy, and it spoke about everything. The Lord, bro, drove me to Geno Jennings, and he had a sermon about that when he talked about witchcraft. He was talking about divinations, about sorcery, about wizards and witches, and the astrology and everything, how the fallen angels taught this stuff, and, like, you know, how women wear makeup. I'm like, wow. That hit me pretty hard, because it's like, okay, well, all the things I was manifesting, all these relationships I was manifesting, the money I was manifesting, the people, the opportunities I was manifesting my way, you know, I felt like I was on top of the world. I felt like, you know, I had this self, you know, gratification, this self, you know, the self-love, the self-worth. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I had this power where I could manifest things that would happen just like that, you know what I'm saying? I could think about something, you know, or I would know something was going to happen before it would happen, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't so much always to give the prophecy like I thought it was. It was other things. Because I thought I had to give the prophecy, but these twitches that I was getting, everything, it was something totally different, you know? So I'm like, man, I put my mind, I put my thoughts on all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So over time, you know, I was having demonic dreams, you know, and once I let all this stuff go and everything too, I say in 2022 or 2023, I started coming to a broad, full understanding about everything. I started watching Geno more, started getting a little bit more and more deeper and deeper and deeper and everything too. It's like, wow, you know, let me cut this camera, light up a little bit, y'all, hold on. I started getting a little bit more and more and more and deeper into everything, man. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I have to do a whole 360 and turn all the way around. Well, a whole 180, turn all the way around and come back the other way. And I had to go to God and let him know, like, man, I apologize, Lord. This is what I was taught. You know, the whole time my grandmother and them telling me about what the eye twitches mean, about, you know, don't step on this, don't step over nobody, you're gonna do this and all these little type of stuff, like, cause I had a dream about cause my auntie, she was real big in that, like, and you could tell that type of stuff. Now, I love my people to death, but, you know, they do dabble in a lot of crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I had a dream about my auntie turned into a black cat. She had all my immediate family behind her or whatever, and I was the only one walking away from them, you know what I'm saying? And all she kept saying was, "Oh, Brandon, you really gonna walk away? Brandon, you really gonna walk away? You really gonna walk away?" And then I seen her whole body and her eyes turn real black and red, and she turned into a black cat at went across my face, like she scratched my face. But I just flinched, but I kept walking. I didn't stop though. I kept walking. So I guess that was my the Lord way of letting me know, like I walked away from the darkness that I was in, you know. I had a dream, I also had dreams about, this is way before I even knew about the crown shackles and everything. I had a dream about me telling my family bye. I didn't know that I was going to get away from walk away from what everybody else was doing. I didn't know God was calling me out of that. I didn't know God was calling me to a deeper and a broader understanding of everything, So, man, yeah, it took some time though, man. Like, because the horoscopes and everything, I stopped doing that. I been stopped doing that type of stuff, I don't believe in that type of stuff. I don't believe in, I stay away from anything that has to do with I know that's about witchcraft and all this stuff. Now it's like the whole world is doing this stuff now. It's new with all the new age witchcraft, the old school witchcraft is like, but when it come down to these Twitches and all that type of stuff, like I still deal with that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here in front of my move. I'm human, I still deal with that sometimes because, for so long it led me. It led me to certain places. It led me to safety at time. It let me know, you know what I'm saying, when I'm about to hear some bull crap. It let me know when stuff is coming my way. It let me know when this, you get the ringing in my ear and all. It's like, but it's satanic. It's divination, So now I'm on a broader path now where it's like, okay, well, now I know, certain things that was revealed to me, certain things that I was brought up from knowing in my whole life of living is not real. It's evil. That explains why I usually get so many demonic dreams, sleep paralyzer, get attacked in my sleep and everything, the sexual demons and all. Now I know why, because of all the doors are open in my life from doing this type of stuff, So I thank God for bringing the right people into my life, for bringing the right, the right messages in my life to let me know, like, okay, well, this is not of me, And I know it God telling me that, like, this is not of me, I didn't give you this type of power to do these type of things. You're not supposed to know this type of stuff. It's the reason you were not supposed to know this type of stuff. It's the reason why I didn't reveal this type of stuff to you. Trust me. It's a reason why. So I need you to come back to me, So over time, I let it all, I just got back into my word hard. I started fasting more. I started praying. I started getting deeper and deeper into my word. I got baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, And, just really got hard on my walk, really got real in my walk out here, you know what I'm saying? Because it was crazy, It's like I lost everything, the life I had, man. I've been doing all that stuff, man. I look back on it now, like, man, all that stuff I manifested, man, it was in the kingdom of darkness. And one thing I know is, like, everything you gain in darkness, you're going to lose it. And now I know why I lost my car. I know why I lost my Mercedes. I know why I lost that, that job I had, why I lost it, why I wasn't paying anything, just staying for free, I know why I lost all the women. I know why I lost everything, because I gained it in darkness. So, and now the life I have now is totally different, I don't have a foreign car no more. I still got a car. I don't have a foreign car no more, I pay my way, what I'm saying, it's everything. So, if I could tell people one thing, don't be fooled by this new age stuff. Don't be fooled by what the world does. Don't be fooled by what someone else might make you think is true. Because all these things that the world is out here doing is leading them and getting them closer and closer and closer and closer to hell. It's getting them closer and closer and closer to damnation, It's to the point where it's like, okay, well, people don't want to wake up. Because, see, me, I wasn't always a hard-headed one. I wasn't always one where I felt like, where, all right, well, okay, it ain't too much that I need to know that's going to help me or going to make me try to change, I know this is what it is. See, the moment God brought these things to my life and let me know, like, okay, well, this what's going on, you know what I'm saying? This is what this is, that is what that is. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to, let me adjust this camera, y'all. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to wonder. I had to do none of that, because that's what it was. Like, that's the reason why I feel like that, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why things weren't working out like that. That's the reason why this, that's the reason why that. See, I knew already, And I must say I have to apologize for certain people because when it came down to the astrology and everything and manifesting, when it come down to like, a lot of things come down to certain people, I led them, when it come down to that, when it come down to like, astrology or whatever, when it came down to people, spiritual spout, when it came down to, like twin flames and all that type of stuff, manifesting people in your life, that no matter, a twin flame basically is someone that has the same traits and has the same lifestyle or the same things as you, and you have to accept them people for what they are and accept them for who they are, and they have to accept you for who you are. But it's one person that's a part of you that's like that you can never let go of. I didn't know that was demonic either. I was attracting that by how a Gemini can be with a Aquarius, and how the Sagittarius is with the great and all this type of stuff, man. I was manifesting all this type of stuff. This camera light is killing me, y'all. There we go. But yeah, man. And I have to apologize to people because I have led some people astray. I have, told some people that it was this and it was that. But in between those times, during those times, God have always corrected me, And I thank God, man. I have to apologize to people because I am a man. I have to let them know, like, man, like, I apologize to some people, that I've led down the wrong way, to let them know, like, okay, well, this is what it is. This is right, because it does work, but and it does, and there is some truth to it, but Satan works in truth and lies. So, you can't dabble in things, that are not right. Because if God wanted us to know these things, we would know them, But in the book of life, it doesn't tell you to do these things. It teaches you not to do these things, And in the book of Enoch, that's why I feel a lot of people need to read the book of Enoch. And now I know more and more now why it was removed from the Bible. Because it teaches you about a lot. It teaches you about everything. Where astrology came from, what a sorcerer, the soothsayer is like, the soothsayer is basically like a prophesier, but in the dark realm, basically. That's what I was. That's what I used to do. It got to the point where I I want to start getting paid for this type of stuff because I can help people and manifest certain things and let people know what's going to happen in their life and what's going on in their world. If they tell me about like these certain twitches they would have, and I can give them insight of what's good. I mean, it got crazy. Like I was really doing that stuff. I talked to a cousin about that before. I told my cousin to let me know about this and certain. I'm glad he never did that. Thank cuz, good looking cuz, for even though he a weed head and everything too, so he probably forgot about it. But I thank God you forgot, bro. I thank God you forgot. Never came to me and told me about it, bro. So man, so when God see you as one of his chosen ones or whatever, and he know you are one of his, trust me, he see you going down the wrong path, and he see you going down the wrong way. He gonna always, that's one thing he always did with me. He always pulled me back. I didn't know why. I never knew what was going on. I never knew why. But now I know why. Because he called me to do something. He called me to stand strong. He called me to preach his word. He called me to help people. He called me to lead them the right way. He called me leading the right way because I have misled someone, you know what I'm saying, through my ignorance because I didn't know, you know what I'm saying. I didn't know these certain type of things, but I know now more than ever, and I'm going to continue to lead the people the righteous way. I'm going to continue to lead the people the way that I need to lead them, you know what I'm saying, and continue to lead the people the way they need to go. So if I could, in my closing message, man, today for my video, man, I want to let people know, like, man, turn away from the tarot cards, turn away from the Ouija boards, turn away from the divination, turn away from the crystals, turn away from the astrology, turn away from the chakras, turn away from the yoga, turn away from the superstition, the twitches, all this Hinduism, everything that's not linked to Christ, Muslims, Baptists, all this stuff is not linked to the Bible. Everything is not linked to the Bible. Turn away from it. Because you're pulling your soul closer and closer to hell. You getting yourself in so many situations where it's going to be harder and harder for you to break free from you opening more doors, open yourself up to more demonic attacks. Trust me, I used to get attacked so much, man. It's like I was scared to go to sleep. Before I moved into this apartment or whatever where I'm at right now, when I was at the hotel or whatever, I used to have dreams so bad while I was getting attacked in my sleep, while I was getting tortured. I was getting tortured in my sleep. Like I was scared to sleep. It's like I used to feel presence in the room with me. Like I could feel this type of stuff was in the room with me, and I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. It's like, oh my Lord. So, but I did that because I was opening doors. I was doing crazy stuff, But it's like, because no one tells you this stuff. When you dabble in this type of stuff and when you deal with this type of witchcraft and all this other little type of stuff, man, those doors you open, You even okay, you can still pray, repent, and do all this type of stuff and pray and cast them all out, but you still got to deal with that stuff. You still got to fight that stuff off. Prayer, fasting, reading the word. I always say this. Always the main thing is prayer, fasting, reading the word. Get it all up out of there. It's gonna get you straight, get you situated, especially with a situation like this. And you got to be serious about it. You got to confess your sin. Let them know. Let God know. Like, okay, well, I did this. I did that. You know what I'm saying? But I need your help, Lord. I need you to help me get back to me. I need you to help me get back to you and get back to the righteous ways and the righteous ways of your teachings and what you showed me, or who you have designed me to be, who you want me to be, not for who I've become or made myself become out of my ignorance, or because I want to feel a little bit of power or something, that I want to feel like some self-worth or something. I never, majority of my life, I was always taught how to survive. I wasn't taught a straight direction. I wasn't taught go this way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't taught to go that way. You know what I'm saying? I was always a curious child. You know what I'm saying? So, and I understand I was gonna make mistakes. I understand I was gonna, do certain things. But man, I thank the Lord, man, for bringing me back and for all the ones He sent my way to help me along my way, to always let me know, like, okay, well, this is what it is. Stand strong in my word. Now you know these things, and I've taught you these things. Go preach the word. Show them the right way now. You was in the kingdom of darkness. You was in the darkness at first, and you were leading people the wrong way because that's what you knew. The Bible says study yourself to be approved. So, and I had to do that. I had to study myself to be approved. I had to learn the word. Even though God sent me these preachers and these messengers or whatever my way, I still have to do my own research. I still have to go out there, and do my own works. Work faith that I works did. So I thank God for bringing me about it. Don't get me wrong. I still find myself sometime, paying attention to a lot of these twitches and everything that I still get sometimes. I still get these random pains in my body sometimes. I still get these random, but I know that's linked to, the witchcraft that opened up myself too, what I'm saying? I'm still fighting it off, even to this day, because it's still doors, what I'm saying? I'm still open, so I'm still fighting it off, everything, but the Lord knows I'm leading towards Him to show me the way, and I pay attention to Him. I don't go off of emotions or or feelings or nothing like that, like I used to and all that type of stuff. And I know I go off of what Lord, and the ways I know He speak to me, So, man, my closing message, like I said, that was my closing message, man. Let everybody know, like, man, turn away, man. Jesus Christ is the way, you know what I'm saying? None of these false prophets, these false gods, these idolized people that you might idolize or nothing like that, man. Turn to Christ, man. He is the one that can save you and get you the way you need to be. He is the one that can heal you, bring you to the full understanding of His true word, and His true ways. So I tell you all, man, accept Christ, know that He is the true God and no one before Him and no one after Him. And trust the Lord. Don't be so much quick to trust what somebody else tells you. Trust what God tells you, And know He will always guide you the righteous way. There is no other way. There is no shortcut to this. This is the only way that can make this happen for y'all. Trust and believe that. There is no other way. I'm living proof, man. Ain't no way around it. You gotta go through it, He is the way, truth. He said, I am the way, I'm the truth, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Trust me. And He will get you through. Trust in Him. There is no way around it. You can't. Trust me. Any other way you try to go to, you're only gonna put yourself in a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. So I say unto you, yes, sir. So yeah, man. This is my word for the day, man. I just want to give y'all my experience and everything too, because I never really talked about it much. I never really, said too much about my experience when it comes down to witchcraft, because it wasn't really a touching subject. It was just to the point where, like, okay, well, it's like it's something I forgot about actually, but like I say, it was somebody gonna hear this. Somebody needs to hear this, like, okay, well, I was dealing with that thing too. I was dealing with all this stuff too, you know what I'm saying? So some people need to hear this. And in the way how you deal with it, prayer, fasting, keep reading your word, and put on the full armor of God so you can continue to fight through this, you know what I'm saying? Because it's you're not gonna just get up out of it just like that. You pray and you come to God. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. No, definitely. But you still gotta fight this stuff off. You know what I'm saying? After a while, it goes away. Don't get me wrong, but you still gotta fight this stuff off. You know what I'm saying? Because you brought it into your life. You opened these doors, so now you gotta fight it off. You know. And over time, it all goes away. You know what I'm saying? Over time, it all fades and all gets better. But yes, continue to go the righteous way. That God sent you on it. The Lord placed you upon. Nothing else but that. So yes, sir. This is my video for the day, man. So yeah, man. I knew it was gonna be a long video. I would have had no thoughts about, had no doubts about that. So yeah, man. You give me a couple more days, man. I got one I really want to do and everything too. It's another one I really want to do also. This was just one that was on my heart. I knew it was gonna be a long one, and I wanted to, get a full understanding, let y'all know what's really going on, how I'm really, how I dealt with my situation, how I dealt with it, how I got through with it, and what I dealt with, and where it came from, and how it's rooted to my bloodline and all that type of stuff. How my people are still dealing with it, how they still going through it and living their lives and just going about it. But this is the true way, man. God is the true way. Christ is the true way. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way through Him. So. There ain't no way around it. So yeah, man, give me a couple more days, man. I got another one for to do. I got a real good one. So if not tomorrow, definitely Saturday. I'm gonna do one more because I know my son got stuff going on tomorrow, and then I know I gotta work again. I got another class on Friday, so definitely probably either Saturday or Sunday. Definitely gonna get that one in for y'all. So yes, sir. I'm back, man. I thank the Lord for giving me my fire back, man, getting me back into the situation, man, back into this forefront where I continue to speak His word to y'all and give y'all some more edification, letting y'all know what's good. So it's all love. Thank y'all. Shalom. Peace and blessings. Yes, sir.